All right, so you have your business name, your business logo, and you're ready to accept payments from new clientele. So what's the next step? Opening your very first business bank account. Now, how do we open a business bank account? I'd highly recommend, especially for beginning to establish those banking relationships, that you do so in person if possible. Now, what I'd recommend you do, especially when you're first initiating these relationships, you want to make sure that you're prepared to go into those banks dressed in business casual. You're a business owner now, right? You're a businessman or businesswoman, so you need to look the part. And looking the part is only going to establish and give you the chance to build your credibility with those banking associates. Now, why do you need a business bank account anyway? It's a separation of finances, number one, meaning it's a clear distinction between your personal income coming in and the income of the business. You don't want to mix the two. You want to make sure that there's a clear distinction. Also, professionalism. So now clients can directly pay you to your business bank account. They'll get an invoice, and in some cases, they'll be able to see your logo when they're paying for your services. A third reason is liability protection, especially if you have an LLC. Making sure that you're able to separate those funds ensures that your shield remains solid. And lastly, and just as importantly, growth leverage. So going into those banks, establishing those relationships, especially early on as an entrepreneur, gives you that future potential for leverage when you're looking to gain some type of business credit, some type of business loan, or some other form of funding partnering with a bank. Now, other than ensuring that you're dressed in business casual and looking sharp when you're going into those banks, what else do you need? You'll need to make sure that you have all of your business formation documents on hand. Now, most banks are going to ask for 5 main documents from you. The first of those documents being the articles of organization or incorporation. So that's a document that you would have received when you first formed your business. The second document is going to be your employer identification number. You can find that for free on irs.gov. That's also another document that you should have received when you first formed your business. The third item is going to be your operating agreement. Again, that's another document that you would have received when you first decide to form your organization. The fourth document is going to be some form of mail that ties to your business address. So it could be a utility bill, it could be a bank statement, but something that was mailed to you that ties directly into whatever your business address is. And lastly, that fifth document is just going to be either your driver's license, state ID, or passport, something that proves that you're the owner of the business, or at least one of the owners of the business. Now, we want to choose the right bank to start with as a business owner. Now, there are 3 different categories of banks. So I'll give you some information about the different categories, and then I'll tell you which one I would go with if I was starting this all over again to begin a banking relationship. First off, we have traditional banks. Then we also have regional banks. And lastly, we have online, strictly online banking agreements and arrangements. Now we talk about regional banks. Regional banks are more local banks. Sometimes they're only limited to certain specific states or regions, and they're more strictly based on relationships. That being said, a lot of those banks do have lower fees for banking relationships. And lastly, online banks have a lot of benefits when it comes to newer bank models. They have lower fees, but they don't have a lot of physical locations. Now, if I'm to give my personal opinion, as a new business owner, I would highly recommend first collaborating with a traditional bank. The reason being is because you're going to have the most opportunity and most access to high amounts of funding if you need it. You're also going to be able to go into a physical branch and speak with someone who's going to give you pertinent information about the new relationship, about the new banking agreement that you'll have with them. And now that we've established which banks I would recommend you begin your relationship with, let's go through the step-by-step process of setting up that actual account. So the first thing that you want to do is go online and schedule an appointment to meet with a representative in a physical location, or you can walk in there and set up an appointment on the day that you walk in. Next up, you want to make sure that you're prepared to bring in all those documents that I mentioned before so that you'll be able to seamlessly set up your account. Following that, you want to make sure that you work with your representative and choose the account that works best for you, whether that be a standard business checking or business savings account or some other type of variety of account. After that, with most banks, especially traditional banks, you want to be prepared to set up some type of initial deposit that can be anywhere from $25 to over $1,000. And you also want to ask your representative what type of fees are associated with each account, just to make sure that you're choosing the right one for you. And from there, you get your debit card as well as checks. If you're choosing to go with checks, set up your online profile and you'll be all ready to go and you'll be all good for business. And that's how you set up your first business banking account. We'll have a lot more information about business banking and lending as well later on. If you found this helpful, make sure that you like and subscribe.